and welcome to the maiden edition of our political program, Hot Seat. Hot Seat is a political profile personality program where we'll be featuring Niger State gubernatorial candidates from various political parties. I am Mohammed Babangida, your anchor person. We have right here in our studios a gubernatorial candidate coming from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Malam Mohammed Aminu Baka. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We'd like to get to know a brief history of who is Malam Mohammed Aminu Baka Badakoshilapai.
My name is Alhaji Aminu Mohammed Baka Badakoshilapai. I was born in Baka, 21st of March 1971. I attended Baka Primary School, 1976 to 1982. After which I proceeded to MKSS Lapai, that is Mohammed Kobo Secondary School Lapai, for my secondary school education. I graduated from Mohammed Kobo Secondary School in 1988. After which I got an admission in 1989 to Kaduna Polytechnic under a platform program of CAT. We call it Certified Accounting Technical Scheme. It's an international program that to enable you become a professional chartered accountant and SCCA member. So after which I went further to AIU, that is Atlantic International University, US, Honolulu, where I obtained BSc in accounting. In the same institution, I obtained MSc Finance. Therefrom, I came back to London, where I finally write the final examination of ACCA, and I also obtained a Master's in Finance in LSBF London School of Business and Finance. I had worked with an international company for the past 15 years, from the level of assistant manager to senior manager to general manager for the group, and finally to the financial director. The company is CFAS Group Nigeria Limited, a division or a subsidiary of MSC International, that is Mediterranean Shipping Company. It's the world's largest shipping company. And I had worked there up to 31st of March 2016, where I retired to mind my own personal businesses. Currently I'm the group managing director of Dio Group Nigeria Limited. It's a personal company that has about more than 5 subsidiaries with an employee of over 275. We are into logistics, we are into housing, real estate management, we are also into financial services, and etc.
With quite a good profile like this, what motivated you for you to venture into politics?
In life, at a point in time, you need to take a certain decision. My motivation to join politics is my desire to rescue and reposition Niger State to become a model state in Nigeria, a state that one will reckon with, because I notice there is need for much infrastructure development to be done in Niger State.
All right, you want to rescue Niger State. What are the policies or agenda that you tend to achieve if you are eventually elected as the governor of Niger State?
Quite a number of agenda I have, but specifically there are 7, which we can consolidate to about 5. First, I want to look at how we can look at agricultural and rural development, where there is also education and youth empowerment. We also will concentrate on the healthcare systems and water sanitation, that's water resources management. And we're also going to look at infrastructure development, also in addition, our economic growth.
All right, let's take it from this angle, talking about the agricultural sector. We know that the current administration has also taken it upon itself in order to bring about more agricultural development in the society. If you are voted into power, how do you think that you can do anything different from what the administration is doing currently?
Significantly, we are going to do a lot, because we are going to do what will actually impact positively in the life of people. What my administration will do will not be concentrating on theory. We're going to do practical development that is going to show that even a novice, somebody that did not go to school, will see. Basically, we are going to look at the zones, the comparative advantage that we have from each zones. We know that Zone A produces rice. in a larger quantity, in a commercial quantity. So we concentrate in that particular area where we are going to have first a modern rice mill in each of the local government areas that in Zone A, that we're going to have at least 6-ton capacity to produce rice, so much that we can consume and even export from it. We also look at the advantage that we have in Zone B, which has to do with yam production. We have, of course, we have seen, I used to see a signboard at the Paiko Junction, Niger State Yam Processing Center. But if you ask how much tons of yam Niger State have exported, so far there is nothing to write them about. We want to develop that yam market into a kind of international market where we can boast of sustaining the zombie economy itself. And the Niger State as a large. Then the Zone C, they are particularly blessed. It's a natural endowment on sorghum, cereals, that is maize, guinea corn, and others. This we are going to empower them particularly in such a way that several new researches, varieties, and expansions in production for local companies, where we can see how do we do to enhance their capacity.
All right. We are still on to the program Hot Seat, broadcasting to our political program, our political profile program, Hot Seat, broadcasting on 91.7 FM Prestige Radio right here in Mina. And we still have in our studios Alhaji Mohammed Aminu Baka Lapai, who is a gubernatorial hopeful under the PDP, People's Democratic Party. All right, coming back again, talking about the issue of education and youth development. What are those things that we are hopefully you will achieve if you are elected into the governor of Niger State?
By the special grace of God, if I'm elected as a governor, and which I'm very hopeful by the special grace of God, in education, we have noticed that most of our schools and both primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions are not in dilapidated situation. And we are going to carry out comprehensive rehabilitation and also upgrade of the facilities in the laboratories where the schools are science schools. And especially, we're also going to assess the teachers for both all the institutions, where we notice that the teachers has no required knowledge, adequate knowledge. We will advise them to go for further education to obtain the required qualification standard we needed for them to teach appropriately, so that the appropriate knowledge will be impacted in our children. And that does not necessarily mean we are going to terminate their appointment, though. We are going to support them to go onto a compulsory study leave and give them financial support. We provide financial support while they go. We employ new young graduates that doesn't have job now, that are jobless, who are capable after an interview to give them jobs so that they carry on with the vacant positions.
When we talk about youths, we also have youth empowerment, whereby we have several thousands of youths roaming the street without employment. How do you think you can do something different from what we have on the ground?
There's nothing even on ground. But by the special grace of God, when we come to power, in few months, there will be no youth, both male and female, running our street in Niger State. Because I have a unique program. This program we are intended to create a skill acquisition center in each of the 25 local government. In each of these center, the center will have a capacity of taking 2,000 men and women youth. We will train them on various skills. After the training, we are going to empower them. We give them a grant. This grant will not be refundable grant, but we are going to empower them. Which area of specialization we give you the tools, and by the time they are doing the training program, we are going to build what we call an entrepreneur center in each of the local government. It will be a shops that will accommodate each number of these people that are graduating, and each shop will be able to have a capacity of taking 3 persons. So by the time we finish, in each local government, we'll be ending up and creating job, creating wealth for over 9,000 people. So, and the young men and women that read accountancy or business educations in the state, we will select them from each of local government who will be monitoring the financial facilities we will give to each of these skills guys we have trained.
Okay, not just creating the skills acquisition center, but follow up, supervising how the youths are using it.
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's go over to the issue of healthcare. How are you going to do about the issue of healthcare? Are we going to have an improved maternal mortality rate in the state, or we are still going to you're going to leave it the way it is currently?
We will not leave it to the way it is. By the time we come in, what is currently on ground is nothing to write home about. First of all, we are going to ensure that there is comprehensive rehabilitations of all the hospitals in the 25 local government we have, so much as to improve the healthcare delivery throughout Niger State. That will, when we have the required facilities and we upgrade the hospitals, and we also look at the personnel, the human capital at the hospital, that is the doctors and nurses. If we ensure that their capacity is developed, that definitely will reduce the mortality rate we are talking of. However, much at times is death. You know, death is a natural, unavoidable, it's inevitable. But at times people will look at say, oh, there is no hospital, that's why people are dying. But death is inevitable. But we will make sure the facilities are on ground, the ones that are on ground that need to be upgraded are upgraded to the maximum level in such a way that the quotient that will be a kind of safety for the delivery of our women.
Okay. The issue of water sanitation or water supply in the state, Niger State, or even Mina, as the headquarters of the state, has been experiencing a series of the issue of inadequate water supply. So if you are elected to lead the state, are we expecting to see adequate water supply in the state? Or
in fact, spontaneous one. There will be a spontaneous progress in our water system, because all over this country, Nigeria, Niger State is the most blessed country, state with water. We have water, we have Niger, River Niger, you have River Gurara, all these things are there. But the problem is the leadership that will sustain the water resource management center, where in nearby a very larger ton capacity of water board will be constructed that can generate water that will reach each of the local government. And where we cannot get water to this local government, a modernized borehole system can be created to better the life of our people. Because without sufficient water supply or adequate water supply, there will be nothing like development, industrialization.
Definitely.
Drinkable water and industrial water must be sufficiently available for you to have a developed state. And this is lacking. And people will talk Niger State is not progressing. How can your state progress when the required this facility is not on ground? This we are going to provide, inshallah, within the shortest period as we come into governance.
Infrastructural development, series of projects that were started by previous administration were abandoned. Are we expecting to see a total different outlook in the issue of infrastructural development if you are voted into power?
First and foremost, that is why the state is backward today. Infrastructure. And when we talk of infrastructure, this encompasses even the roads, the road network. First, as we come in, the federal roads, we are going to collaborate with the federal government to ensure that we fix this road. Where the federal government is not ready to do the job, we will do it and seek approval. Afterward, a refund of the state money will be refunded to us. And in the case of feeder road that links all the 25 local government for our internal road, we will work on it to improve them, to facilitate the transportation of our goods, and also to woo investors to bring in their money. Because without good road, there will be problem. Every investor wants proximity.
Definitely.
Then abandoned project will be our priority. And once I come into government, I am going to work with the state assembly to enact a law that whichever project a particular administration be started, any administration coming must complete that project. Because there is no point of wasting state resources on incomplete project. Because I'm from this party, I'm not the one I want. No, we will not tolerate that. We are going to have a standard for Niger State. There will be standard project management for the state.
All right. Talking about wooing investors to come to the state. Talking about economic, how about linking it up with economic growth and social security in the state? We have series of cases. We have insecurity here and there. The economic growth is quite performing woefully in the states.
All this boils down to lack of infrastructure, lack of water, because these are the bedrock of development. Once there is bad roads, once there is no water, there is nobody that will come and invest. But the moment we have this on ground, to a certain level, we develop them to a certain level, there will be security in the state, because once our youth, they have a job to do, they have the skill. The ones that are not employed, we have created an acquisition center, and we are creating more. The more we create these entrepreneurs, people are able to work to generate money for themselves. This will also in turn return money to the purse of the state government, and therefore this will improve our economy significantly.
Are you going to focus on the issue of Mina Bidda Road and Mina Bidda Road or Mina Suleja Road? Because we had issue of series of roads that are quite in dilapidated states. Sincerely
speaking, I want to assure you, in the 100 days when we get to the office, each of the major roads that connect our local government, we will begin work on them. Okay. And each program, each project that we gives out, we will have a time frame. Because that will demonstrate our seriousness on ground. This road, fix it within 6 months. How much is it cost? We look at it.
But aren't you thinking of how you're going to get the resources to finance such projects?
Thank you very much. The resources has never been the problem in Niger State. It's the willingness of the leadership of the people at the end of affair to do it. For now, we are talking of so far within this APC administration, we are saying the state has received over 600 billion naira in allocation, in Paris reform. But you cannot see physical progress on ground. Even the project that former PDP administrations have done to even 90% completion are abandoned. So a leadership, the state need committed and willing leadership who want to see the state is transformed, and this is what I am coming to.
Okay, we talk about the roads. Then why don't we discuss on the issue of provision of SMEs? You can turn to the page.
Okay, we are particularly on the economic growth and social security. So we are going to look at Baromina abandoned railway line to pursue for reopening and rebuild to a standard gauge. So much to facilitate the transportation of a larger heavy commodity products. This will also open up the Niger State economy and will enhance our internal generated revenue capacity. So also we are going to look at the public transportation, that is transit in urban areas. We are going to review it, especially the motorcyclists which are roaming in the main streets of Mina, the main town. So we are going to ensure that there is a comprehensive system that will accommodate them within the urban areas.
Are you giving them a kind of social security intervention whereby each motorcycle or Okada rider must have a social security number, and then they must also be part and parcel of a special security, apart from security, health insurance?
Getting them, we have to be very factual. Getting motorcyclists into health insurance is not going to be an easy task. But what we are going to do, we are going to make sure we get them, harness them into what we call security net. We have a special number for each of them, and by so doing, they too will contribute to the state, because each of them have a special number, and this special number is not going to be free. But we'll use it to track them, and this will reduce vices of violence or any crime.
Okay. Your message to the Nigerite, because you are contesting as a hopeful to get the clinch the ticket of the PDP. What is your message to Nigerites?
My message to the whole Nigerite is first and foremost, God has brought me this time around to contest for this position, to deliver this state from the current situation we are facing. Everyone in Niger State will agree with me today, irrespective of whichever party you are, that there is a serious poverty on ground. Then our youth, particularly, I want to plead with them to avoid anything that will create insecurity further in the state, as we are coming in to ensure that we improve on their life by providing a platform for their growth, for them to acquire skill and become entrepreneurs that can create wealth, which invariably in turn will benefit the state. Lastly, I want to plead with all the Nigerites, particularly for now, two stages of plead. One, I'm pleading with all the aspirant, the candidates, what we call them, delegate for PDP, members of PDP, to vote for me without his station, because that is the only vote that will deliver them and rescue them from the current situation that the state is going. If they vote for me, they are not doing a service to only me, they are doing a service to generations and generations of unborn children, because I am coming to work, a work that will impact in the life of unforeseen generations. So I'm pleading with them to vote. And then also the second stage of my plea is to our youth and general public, irrespective of which party you are, during the general election, go out now, obtain your card, your voter's card. When the D-date come, go out and vote for PDP. And when you are voting, vote for Aminu Mohammed Baka, because as at now, I'm very confident that I am not a deceiver. This is a politician with a difference.
A politician with a difference. That's the watchword there. Not forgetting the fact that he said he is out there in order to rescue Niger State. He is coming out in order to rescue Niger State. That's about the size of the program. Hot Seat will be taking this beautiful day. You can join us next week for a fresh package of the program, where we featured the gubernatorial candidate coming from the People's Democratic Party, talking about Alhaji Muhammad Aminu Baka Barakoshin Lapai. My name is Maimuna Muhammad Babangida. Say, keep on listening to the station.
Provide for the state.